Now from the great state of Illinois, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the second city of Chicago. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Condors of Anchorage taking on the Bulls of Chicago. Two teams here fresh off week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. But you look at this defense. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
To throw on 2nd down. Hartley under pressure, and down he goes. But certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Operating from the gun. Hartley. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, CD, these two teams barely off the buses, and this defense already has a sack and now the interception and the pick 6 to take the lead.
Partner, you have to think that this was part of their game plan coming in because they wanted to embrace an aggressive mindset and attack on defense. They were trying to force that quick miscue, and I would say their plan worked to perfection.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
There it is, a staple in most teams' playbooks, the angle route. A lot of times you want to take away that inside route by a back, but when they sell it like he's going to the flat, that is tough on inside linebackers. One false step, and that ball's completed.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hartley. And he can't escape, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick six from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Operating from the gun, Hartley. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow them to convert a 3rd and 18. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Hartley, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. When you look at this defense, well, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's about what you consider the break-even mark. If you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team. That's what you're looking for.
It's a foot race, and he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 27 yards there, a first down.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Not liking the look. They'll change the play. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Here comes 3rd down and 7. Looking to throw. Hartley. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown! Marvin Mims, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Condors are an extra point away from drawing level. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Half 18, half 18. Timberland, Timberland, Timberland.
They'll start out on the ground at Saquon Barkley. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. So you look at this new situation. It's worked in other places. You've got 2 teams in L.A. Until recently, we had 2 out in the Bay Area. Of course, 2 in the New York area. And now 2 teams calling Chicago home. And if these fans here are any indication, this city is ready to embrace this newly relocated team. Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. Oh, good move. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Cadence, lock in the case, lock in the case. Up, go!
A first down carry for Barkley. And he stopped immediately there. Now a 2nd and 10.
Woodland, gold, Woodland, gold, up, go!
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. And his pass incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. To throw on 3rd down. Hartley. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive in particular. If they can bounce back. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, they matched their opponent's pick 6 from earlier. Those are some crucial points that may prove pretty consequential as to how this one plays out.
And Brandon, I think now we're not just watching how they move around the field, but we're checking their psychology out a little bit, aren't we? Because that defense, they're about to go right back out with all the momentum on their side. As for the opposing offense, you wonder if there's going to be some hesitation to lean entirely on the passing game to try and mount a counterattack.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath says do no harm. And right now they're harming themselves on that front.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. 25 yards that time.
Other side, other side. Over here, over here. Up, go.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley, rolling to his left. And that one going to come up short, low throw.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Half 18.
Here's second and 10.
Biggie. Up.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So on the other side of the field now, it's first and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Detroit.
Throwing Jones. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Great. Timberland.
Now Jones. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game and you look at the backgrounds of these kickers? It's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. They'll swing this out to Tony. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A big pickup of 38.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that will bring up second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now second and 3. They hand off to their big tight end. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Well, looks like they'll move things around here. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Condors have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead now up to 14. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones to Barkley on the check down. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. It's a gain of 34. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now receiver in motion left. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Andrew Thomas, former first-rounder from Georgia, called for the penalty there. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. Touchdown! A great effort there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Bulls get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that cuts the lead to 24-17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
In trouble, and he's taken down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On second down, they'll run it here. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And he won't quite make it to the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
That's caught at the 25. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They give him a gain of 37.
And what great recognition between a receiver and his quarterback, because he's going to recognize the trouble, and then he has 2 options. Cut off the route and come back to help, or head straight down the field, and he chooses the latter, and it turns into a huge play.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Second down and a yard. Again, it's Barkley. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Go north salad. Go north.
Oh, design run for their wideout. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal. This is a 26-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. We've got a close game. The offense has played well, but right now they've got to keep their foot on the gas.
And that carries with it an extra bit of pressure, doesn't it?
Now the ball comes loose. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So turnovers, Charles, and now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Throwing on 1st down. Hartley. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. In motion goes the tight end. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field.
Here we go. Why shift the crew?
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. Up to make the play defensively, Tre'Davious White.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 51 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Jones. This will be caught at the 2. And he'll be out of bounds.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Barkley. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Barkley again. But he will lose yardage here as they knock him back to the 3. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Saquon Barkley, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Bulls have taken a 4th quarter lead. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it. And this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the 2nd half. They'll need to change that here. On 1st and 10, Hartley escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Forced out to his left. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a 1st. Now they'll change things around before the snap. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 11 yards there, 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
On 1st down, Hartley. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That'll be caught. It's Tony. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Now Jones. Wide open receiver, complete. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning.
Cadence, lock in the cadence, lock in the cadence. Apple.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run.
North salad.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run it again with Barkley. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
I think as a running back in this spot, you have to understand there's not going to be a whole lot of room to run. And in this case, ball protection takes precedent over trying to make something happen.
Barkley inside handoff. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for Chicago, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Anchorage, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.